Good morning. It is episode 128. It is Thursday morning. I had to double check what episode it was then. 128. Can you believe it? Right. So today we are talking something to do with your emotions. And this came from Dan Bradbury. I don't know if anybody mentioned it or saw it yesterday in the interview, but all of a sudden, as soon as he said it, I was like, oh my God, that is a brilliant, brilliant quote. And I just wanted to bring it to everyone's attention today because I thought it was so good. I thought it was so profound. And I just wanted to talk about it today because I believe it can have an impact in everybody's life in a positive way. And this is what this podcast is all about. If you haven't already done so, by the way, please, please, please subscribe to this podcast. It would mean the absolute world to me. And also, if you can give it a rating and review, that would be immense. I'd massively appreciate that. Thank you. And if you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up or whatever you do on YouTube, that'll be awesome. As you can tell, I don't know YouTube yet at the minute. Right. Okay. So what did Dan say yesterday? He said, when emotions go up, intelligence goes down. Just take a minute, breathe that in. When emotions go up, intelligence goes down. I don't really need to say too much more because for me, that was so interesting because I can look at when me and my wife have arguments and you look back at the stupid things you said or the stupid things she said, mainly the stupid things that she said. I'm okay. She doesn't listen to this. Okay. We both say stupid things. But when you have an argument, you do say stupid things. Why? Because your emotions have gone up. At work, your emotions go up, so your intelligence goes down. So you can't therefore you can't have the thoughtful argument you maybe should do or point of view, not necessarily an argument. I think this is so profound because it's so interesting. It works with your kids. It works with your wife. It works with your family, mom, dad, sisters, brother. When your emotions get elevated, your intelligence goes the other way. And so what we need to do in these times that are testing us, where we're upset, we're angry, where whatever the case may be, we're not quite our normal self. We're not thinking in the correct patterns. And the reason is because the emotions have gone up. So what we need to do is we need to take a step back. We need to take a step back from that emotion. We need to be aware of when these emotions are going up, when you are getting madder, when you are getting more hair, when you are getting more angry, you know you are going to say the wrong thing. You know you're going to make incorrect and bad decisions moving forward. So what you need to do, and what I'm what I'm urging you guys to do is just take a step back. And I include myself in this because everybody has disagreements. Everybody has arguments. And it's worked for me this week because we recorded that episode some time ago. And it's worked for me this week in certain things that's happened with my work. I've just taken a step back because if I react on emotions, I know that I won't make the best decision. And so I've took a step back and I've realized that, do you know what? It's not the best course of action to act this way or to say this thing. And I'll give you another example. Betfair are my sponsors to the podcast, and something happened to the Betting Guy podcast, and something happened over a year ago that still upsets me now. And I've just actually give notice with Betfair. We've got a contract until the end of the football season. And you know what? That's a different me. That betting and trading and helping people in that sort of industry, that was a different Dean. That was a different timescale. And so Betfair have been asking me about renewing the contract and renewing the sponsorship. And if I'm honest, I've been slow to get back to them. And then what I did last night was, I wrote an email out and saying that, look, this is the decision I'm making at the end of this season. I'm gonna bench the idea, and I'm no longer going to be the betting guy just because it doesn't serve a purpose in my life anymore. It doesn't take me down the correct path. And then I started mentioning. I remember what happened, something that I was upset about maybe a year or so ago, how I was treated in certain circumstances by Betfair. And so what I did was I put that in an email. I actually mentioned that in an email and said, look, by the way, if I'm honest, I just want to mention this because, and I could feel my emotions coming out. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to delete the email, but I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to read it again in the morning and see if I still, with a clear head, with a clear thought process, do I still want to send this email? Do I still feel this way when the emotions are taken out of the situation? I read it again this morning and I honestly cringed. I didn't say anything nasty. I didn't say anything wrong, but what was it going to do to me? How was it going to positively affect my life? It wasn't. There was nothing that I said in that email what could ever have a positive outcome. And don't get me wrong, like I say, I never ever say anything remotely argumentative or nasty or mean or anything like that. I just brought it to their attention and I said, look, this is how I would have preferred to be treated. This is how I believe that this situation could have gone. And I look back at that email and I'm thinking, taking emotion out of it, I deleted that section of it. I still sent my notice into Betfair, but I deleted that section because the emotions was driving me. Do not let your emotions drive you because it will just drive you down the wrong path. So what we need to do when we feel the anger, the anguish, the upset, any emotions, then we need to take a step back. We need to be aware of these emotions taking over. The emotions is taking our intelligence, and we, as motivated ninjas, we can't allow that to happen to us. So we need to take a step back and we need to assess the situation without emotion. When there is no emotion there, me and my wife, when we're ever having an argument, by the way, it sounds like we have loads of arguments, but we genuinely don't. We don't argue that much. We take a step back and we say, listen, right, okay, we'll talk about this in half an hour and we've got a clearer head. And it's so much better because really, if you think about the arguments you've had with your partner, but in all aspects of your life, and you look back on them arguments, you're thinking, do you know what? Actually, it didn't really matter. It wasn't really important. But at the time, because emotions gripped you, emotions got the hold of you, it feels like the most important part, the most important thing. There I am again with that thing. This is a whole, I don't know the next word. This is a whole thing. Every time I shut off a word, I just say thing. It feels like the most important thing in your life right there and then. And why is that? Because emotion is taking hold of your decision making. And as soon as emotion takes hold of that decision making, it sends you down the incorrect path, the negative path. So we need to just be aware of it, take a step back and make sure that emotion isn't playing a part in any decisions that we are making. My friends, if we can get hold of this, if we can grasp this, it will make a massive difference in all aspects of our life. Do not let emotions make decisions for you, because when emotions go up, where does intelligence go? It goes down, my friends. So we can't let that happen. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Please head on over to my website, motivatedentrepreneurs.co.uk, and you can sign up to the mailing list there, all sorts of goodies. And also, if you are interested in how many downloads we are getting, then go across to podcasting.co.uk and I document this whole journey of podcasting. I absolutely love it. I think that podcasting is a brilliant platform, and I document how well we're doing, what's working for the podcast, what's growing the audience, the reviews, etc., etc. So please head on over there, and don't forget, like I said, the reviews mean the world to me, because then we can get out. iTunes then shows it to a bigger audience and gets us higher in the charts. So that'll be amazing. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow on. I'm trying to think what we're talking about tomorrow. I haven't actually got it written down. Brilliant. Awesome. That's fantastic. Great episode. Ruined. Only joking. Right. So remember, do not let your emotions take over. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you. Bye-bye.